We have a Harman Kardon TU615 tuner, and it's from the mid-80s, and I discovered a problem with Harman equipment from that time because I had a whole setup, preamp, power amp, equalizer, tuner, and one of the weak points on it were the RCA connectors on the back. They used to like to come apart. A second problem I discovered, and I had to trash the preamp because of it, they seem to like to use proprietary components in some of them that were not easily replaceable. Now, we'll take a look at the back in a second. This happened on my preamp, and now it appears to be happening on the EQ8 equalizer as well. So, to compound the problem, the tuner can be replaced on eBay for $40. So, too much shop time I wouldn't want to put into this. And if I can find a replacement part, it may not be any better than the original, which, even though this is now 30 years later, you know, still you never know when it's going to pull apart. So what I'm trying to do is remove this, the RCA jack, and run a direct cable, since I don't know about you, but I have stereo cables all over the place here, and maybe just as easy a way to eliminate a connection and get this working. So we'll give it a try. And there we have our repair soldered in place. Turned out the original wires weren't soldered, they were just wrapped around the posts on the inputs. So I managed to remove the connectors, and we'll see how it holds up, but I used the original mount sort of as a strain relief for the cables, or at least grommet so they don't grind against the case. And now we'll take it upstairs and plug it in and see how it works. So let's keep our fingers crossed. So there we have our soldered and shrink wrapped wires. The cables coming through the old plastic RCA mount, which is sort of acting as a grommet to prevent rub against the metal in the cabinet, and to prevent strain on the cable and accidentally pulling things out and apart, I added a cable clamp to the outside. So that should provide a strain relief and allow it to be plugged in. So we have an RCA cable coming out the back now to direct wire. We've eliminated a mechanical connection, and I now have a soldered connection in the unit where there had been a wire wrap before. And Lord, I don't understand why they did that. Okay, so I connected the cables, closed it all up. May end up adding a strain relief from the inside, a cable clamp from the inside down the road, but I don't feel pressure to do it. I now have a 6-foot cable sticking out of the back of the tuner, but like I said before, on the used market they're only worth $40. It was a decent tuner, but not worth bench time, and I believe if I can find the part, it would be somewhere around $10. So, you know, looked like a relatively cheap alternative as a way to restore this and get it working properly. The unit's plugged in. We'll turn it on in a minute. The EQ8 on the bottom, though, that's going to have to be done next. It's got a connector breaking down on it as well, and you know, we'll see what the parts are going to run and probably do that the same way. So let's turn things on and see what we got. Well, we got a signal and we got our lights.
Visit us online at branford.mymarvinproject.com.
With a Sam's Club membership, you get incredible savings every time you shop. Sam's Club members get a one-of-a-kind savings book with up to $1,000 in exclusive.
And we have both channels with us, so looks like this was a successful repair. We're back online. Frankly, the connection should be a lot better than what we had, and maybe it's in my mind, but the sound does seem to be better from the tuner at this point. But that much may just be my desires as to what I would like it to sound like. But if you have one and you're looking for a cheap fix, if you like me, you got a box full of RCA cables downstairs, you know, all I did was cut the ends off one and splice it in. And now at least I know I have a soldered connection in the tuner as opposed to a wire wrap, which not sure why they did that, but you know, it certainly gives me a more secure connection. So that closes this one out, and I hope it helps someone out there.